Welcome to Headline to Heartline. A gilded door still swings on ordinary hinges. Yes, he has a sentence. On October 3, 2025, Sean Diddy Combs, also known as Puff Daddy, was sentenced in New York federal court to 4 years and 2 months in prison, plus a $500,000 fine and 5 years of supervised release, after a jury convicted him on 2 counts under the Mann Act for transporting adults across state lines to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted of the more serious sex-trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges, and he received credit for a year already served, which means he could be out in about 3 years if he earns standard good time credits. This video is your clear Diddy update. What happened in that courtroom? What those Diddy parties really mean in legal terms? What's unfolded since sentencing day? How the media and 50 Cent reacted? And what comes next? Inside the packed Manhattan courtroom, the mood was grave. Combs apologized, saying he was ashamed and that his children deserved better. After the gavel fell, his family stepped into the hallway and out toward the street, heads down under a crush of cameras. Local stations aired footage of the Combs children leaving the courthouse, and multiple outlets reported that, as he was led away, he looked toward them and mouthed, "I'm sorry." It was a short human moment amid a long, public reckoning. The phrase Diddy parties has raced across search bars, but in court the talk was more precise. Prosecutors described a pattern around certain private gatherings, what some witnesses called freak-offs, where paid sex and drugs blurred boundaries, and where travel was arranged that broke the law. The defense argued the encounters were between consenting adults and that the government was overreaching. The verdict split that difference. No to trafficking and racketeering, yes to 2 transportation crimes. That nuance matters. It doesn't rewrite the music many of us dance to, but it does redraw the line between fame and accountability. As a woman over 50, I will say what many of us feel. We are tired of crimes like this. We grew up with these songs as the background to carpool lines, graduations, and kitchen cleanups. We didn't sign up for the shadow side. The coercion alleged by some, the power games, the way money can stretch a night far past wisdom. America is exhausted. We don't cheer a prison term. We're simply worn down by harm, and we want the hurting to stop. Justice, when it comes, is not a party. It is a boundary. If this kind of calm, context-first reporting helps you breathe through the noise, please like this video and subscribe so more women can find it. From the day of sentencing to now, here's what's happened. Combs' legal team says they will appeal, arguing the judge leaned too hard on testimony connected to charges the jury rejected. Where he serves time is being sorted. His attorneys asked for FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey, a low-security federal facility with a residential drug treatment program and easier family visits. The judge has recommended he be placed as close to New York as possible with access to substance abuse treatment, but the Bureau of Prisons makes the final call. Meanwhile, newscasts led with the headline, "Diddy sentenced to 50 months," while long-form outlets weighed the social meaning of a superstar held to account for prostitution-related crimes and acquitted of the rest. Some tabloids obsessed over salacious details. Mainstream reporters focused on the narrowness of the convictions and the breadth of the cultural fallout. The comment sections were a split screen, relief from survivors and their allies, skepticism from some fans, and a chorus of us older women saying softly, "Enough." Because this is an honest Diddy update, we need to touch on the noise too. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a longtime rival, mocked Combs online within hours of the sentence, cracking that he was available to take over Diddy's speaking gigs and calling him dangerous, in a message that mixed swagger with a win-at-all-costs grin. You can read that as entertainment beef, or as an example of how quickly a serious verdict becomes a punchline on social media. I see something more wearying, when someone's worst day becomes content. The people closest to the harm, women who testified, families who showed up, get turned into extras in a skit they never agreed to. And what about those Diddy parties you keep hearing about? Here's the plain English version. The Mann Act is a century-old federal law aimed at stopping people from transporting others for prostitution. The jury decided that, when travel was arranged around certain encounters, the law was broken. hence the convictions. But the jury also said no to the government's larger story about a trafficking enterprise. That's why you'll see Diddy parties trending, and right beside it, Diddy update. People are trying to square a glamorous image with travel plans, credit card receipts, and testimony that turned a glossy rumor into elements of a crime. Those who loved the music are grieving a little. Those who warned us years ago feel seen. And many of us are simply navigating the space between. Where do we go from here? The appeal could focus on how evidence was weighed, whether certain testimony should have shaped the sentence, and how the judge applied the law to the facts. Placement will be set by the Bureau of Prisons. If Combs lands at Fort Dix or another facility near New York, he may enter treatment, teach classes, or mentor younger men, as some celebrity inmates have done before him. He will almost certainly keep asking for leniency at each step as the system allows. There are reports that he has reached out for a presidential pardon. That's a political question more than a legal one, and it may say more about the times than about the case. Media reaction has settled into familiar grooves. Headlines highlight the number, 50 months. Profiles revisit the rise of bad boy records. Opinion writers wrestle with the contradictions. A label head who changed radio, an artist who became a billionaire businessman, and a defendant convicted of prostitution-related crimes while being cleared of trafficking. The story is big because he is big. It is also big because it asks a question that keeps coming back in American life. What do we do with men whose talent shaped us, when the facts in a courtroom reshape them? There's one more image I can't shake from that day. After the sentence, the family filed past the cameras in the autumn light, sons and daughters moving as a small unit, guarded and quiet. Whether you think he got off easy or got what the law allows, that is the cost no headline carries well. The private walk to the curb, the ride home, the night when the house is both too loud and too still. Accountability lands not only on the person who did wrong, but in ripples around everyone who loved him. That's the Diddy update. Complete and clear, a 50-month sentence handed down on October 3, 2025 for 2 Mann Act convictions. Acquittals on the most severe charges, an appeal in motion, a request to serve near New York, possibly Fort Dix media in full roar, 50 Cent doing what 50 Cent does, and a country still deciding how to hold power to account without losing compassion. Thank you for watching and for spending part of your day here with me. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video so other women can find careful reporting without the shouting, and I'll see you next time. As we close this chapter, let's step back from that heavy courthouse door with a truer map than the one we carried in.